Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Taking a few moments. If you want to follow along, Genesis chapter 38. We'll finish up this chapter looking in verse number 27 to the end of the chapter. It says this: When the time of her labor came, there were twins in her womb. And when she was in labor, one put out a hand, and the midwife took and tied a scarlet thread on his hand, saying, "This one came out first." But as he drew back his hand, behold, his brother came out. And she said, "What a breach you have made for yourself." Therefore his name was called Perez. Afterward his brother came out with a scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah. All right. What's going on here? Finally, Tamar is having her children, and we see the sovereignty, the authority of our God being played out here in this passage. It's really kind of a wonderful ending. Well, it's really not even the end of the story. This is just, again, we're just going to turn the page here. But here we see ultimately God ends up, he overrules, he overcomes the immorality of Judah and Tamar. And God gives Tamar two sons, and they will eventually become followers of God. They eventually do become part of the family of God. We have Perez and Zerah. And again, this isn't the end of the story. This is, again, just the really the beginning of the story. What happens here is that, again, we have these twins being born. And the whole family, Tamar, his and the surviving son here, Shelah, and the new twins that have been born, they're all going to commit themselves to following God. Tamar is actually going to end up being one of in the lineage of Christ through these events. Perez would be, again, an ancestor to David, which would put him obviously then into the line of Christ as well. The other son is going to be a very influential family in the tribe of Judah. And Shelah's going to be a very important family here in the family. And so God takes what mess that man makes, and he manages to get glory out of it, to accomplish his purpose in what is done. This preserves the family line of Judah. God's program will continue despite. I don't know if you want to say man's best efforts or man's worst efforts, but as much as man tried to mess it up, God is still in control. God is still going to have his way, and doesn't accept the sin of man, and doesn't let man's sin override his plans. No matter, again, if you step back and think for a moment, all of this is Satan working, doing whatever he can to disrupt the family, disrupt the lineage that would ultimately lead to the birth of our Savior. And so it's really, again, a beautiful story when you stop and think that God is determined for us to have a Savior. And he will not allow man's bad choices, bad decisions, Satan's influence to mess up his plans. And that's a good reminder, a good message for most of us today. Because sometimes we look around, we look at the news, we look at our own lives, we look at our own families, and it appears sometimes that Satan's winning. But this passage, this story, reminds us that no matter how bad man gets, how much he interferes, how much he messes, that God stays on, still is on the throne. Never forget that. You have a great day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.